Hello everyone, so in this video we will be converting the DarwinFPV Cineape from an analog system going to an HD system. As you can see here, this is one good Cineape. I tried to use this as an analog system, but recently I've been decided to convert this. Of course, there are a lot of things that you need to consider if ever you will be converting this to to an HD system such as the Walksnail. First and foremost, as you can see at the front of this quad, this is a 14x14 mount. We will be using and utilizing the Walksnail Avatar Pro kit. This is the Starlight cam, so it's really big. As you can see, this mount is, this is 19x19. It's really big. If we will try to put it side by side with the ant, it's really small. The ant is really small. So there's no way for you to fit this here. So what I did is I made an STL file and we will be using this. This is a 3D printed mount, but the problem is I don't know what will be the characteristics of this quad when we use this. But as you can see here, we will be placing it on top. We will be placing it on top. So before, this analog is at the bottom of this frame, but this time it will be on top of the frame. Okay, so this will fit the Walksnail. See, it fits really perfectly. Okay, so that is one thing that we need to consider. Next is at the bottom plate, you have this analog VTX. The VTX of the Walksnail is a bit big. What we will do is probably put some stand-ups here. I got a couple of stand-ups here. We'll try to put it at the bottom of this plate so that it would give us some space between the flight controller, which is on here, this part, and the VTX that we will be placing. Next is Flywoo. Actually, Flywoo gave this, they changed the configuration of the Walksnail system. So they provided us with, thank you Flywoo, they provided this customized antenna for the Walksnail system. This is not the stock, so this would probably be better than that. So we will put it here. It's quite long. The lead is quite long, so if we will be placing it here, it would be long enough to reach the VTX. So this would be the third one that we need to consider. Also, the VTX of Walksnail needs at least 6 to, I'm not mistaken, 25 volts. But the problem is the DarwinFPV Cineape doesn't have a battery lead that has probably 6 volts up to probably 9 volts or 12 volts. It doesn't have that lead. So what we will be doing is we will be directly tapping the VBAT or the battery lead. And of course, it's not advisable to go directly since we'll be using 4S battery. There will be fluctuations on the current. And there are a lot of people who are experiencing that problem. The Facebook group of Walksnail, they are reporting that their VTX either got damaged or suddenly it toasted. So what we will be doing is we will be using a BEC from iFlight. This BEC is really important because it you can go directly to VBAT and the output would be 5 volts. So we don't need the 5 volts. So we will be shorting that pad. We will short that so this BEC can now produce 12 volts, which is within the range of 6 volts up to whatever is the required for the VTX. Another thing, the last thing that we have to consider is using a smoke stopper. This is the iFlight smoke stopper. If you can buy one, go get one. This is really important because this could save you a lot of money and headache if in case you got problem with your soldering some short. So this would be helpful for you. Okay, so I will not discuss this in detail, but if there is a short, this will buzz and cut the electricity. Okay, so let's go. Let's start this conversion. I know it's a bit long for this introduction. I already took 6 minutes of your time. So let's go. Let's do this. Do everything here. The amount. Okay, so this is the antenna. You can actually remove it already, but let's just let it stay there. Then let's see this mount. So this is the lead directly to the flight controller. We just have to remove it first. We can just put it later on if we really need to. So this is the DarwinFPV VTX, analog VTX. Do not underestimate this VTX. It actually can produce up to 600 watts of power. So you can really reach far with this VTX. Also, they placed it with this heat sink so that your chips will not have any problems. So DarwinFPV really has a lot of good products. Okay, let's look at the flight controller. Hopefully we can read it. Okay, so actually this has gyro. We can probably put a micro SD card here if you want the gyro data, but the problem is it's difficult to reach from the sides. So yeah, let's just use the VTX of Walksnail. It has gyro also. It would hit the flight controller. Yeah, it would fit. It would not fit. It's a bit tight, so you really need to put a standoff. Probably a bigger one, a big standoff here. So you have removed a lot of parts already. As you can see here, I removed this. So you can actually remove this mount. Okay, so for this BEC, you just need to short that 12 volts there. Okay, so we finally. It's not that good, but that would do. Okay, so we have finally soldered everything. Okay, so this is our BEC now. I don't have a transparent shrink wrap, so we just use a yellow one. Okay, this would be the VBAT going to the BEC. I also got the ground here. Hopefully you can still see it. The ground going to the BEC. And this is the wire that came with the Walksnail. So I just soldered both the ground and the 12 volts here going to the wire, and RX and TX. TX would be this one, then RX would be this one. So so it should be RX to Fs to the flight controller, then TX to your VTX. Okay, let's test it now. Okay, so this is the reason why we really need this smoke stopper. So you would know if there is really a bad circuit. Then we plug it into our VTX. Battery is on. Let's try. So if there is an error in our setup, this should buzz. This doesn't have any error. A while before I was able to finish. It's already 2 a.m. Plug it in. If there's error, I'll just put it by. Woohoo! We got no error. Okay. Woo! We have the footage. Oh yeah, we got footage now. So we have finally placed the Walksnail Avatar HD here, the VTX. Now my problem is I need to ensure that all of the wires will be tucked in so that there won't be any wire dangling and be hit by these propellers. We have finally mounted everything, and as you can see at the bottom plate, I put some zip tie just to hold all of the wires and this BEC, but I'll try to put another zip tie there just to make sure that it won't move while we are flying. Now, as you can see here, I put some extra standoffs just to give room for this Walksnail VTX. It's really big for the frame of this Cineape, and I think this would give it a room to breathe and some space left between this board and the flight controller. The only problem that I'm actually seeing right now is that it's a bit exposed, this VTX and some wires, but I'll try to clean it up as we go on with this build. But so far, this would do for now. Okay, so I changed my my screw from a 15 millimeter to a 20 millimeter screw. Also, I put some very short standoff. I think this is just 5 or 6 millimeters. Yeah, 6 millimeter standoffs. I got this from my Tamiya. An accessory of Tamiya, but if you want, you can probably buy this in Shopee or Lazada, or probably in Banggood. So any standoff that can give an extra space for your VTX would do. Okay, now so let's test this unit. After a couple of tries, it was having error. Please. We're getting signal. Nice. Okay, let me record this. That is good. Let's turn on the light again. Okay, so we have finally tested everything. It's working. Now, I do apologize for this zip ties, because the BEC is really moving at the bottom. Okay, nevertheless, this would work. Okay, let's discuss it in very briefly. I made this 3D print here. Then we put some standoffs. So now we have a bit of room, so the propeller will not hit the ground. I did not put the Walksnail USB Type-C permanently because I'm having issue where to mount it. But the Cineape USB, you're able to place it here in the front with zip ties as well. Now the problem is, actually it's not a problem. Now the battery fits really well at the back, the 850s, and it's not really moving because this 3D print file is holding the battery in place. Okay. What else? I did not remove the analog connectors. That is a good thing about this Cineape. There are a lot of UARTs, so we are still able to maintain those wires for the analog. It's in the bottom part of the plate. Yeah, everything else is okay. Now, this antenna from Flyu is a bit small compared to the STL 3D print of DarwinFPV, so I put some glue to hold it in place so that it won't move that much while flying. Well, I'm happy with this build, and so far it's not moving at all, and hopefully this has a good flight characteristics when we do our flights. The Radio Master Boxer and the HD0 and Walksnail combo. Sand. Okay. right here. There's some jello in the footage, but so far it's a good flight. There are a bit of jello. Hopefully we can fix this on the mount. It's quite loud, really. I'm getting attentions. Let's try acro mode. Hey, the dog doesn't want to go. He might. How can I change my settings? The dog is coming near me. Okay. Let's go. Let's do this in acro mode. I don't have an OSD. Why? What? Display. OSD. I don't have an OSD. Whoa, 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 whoa. Makamano kaya? Wag, layo kayo, layo, layo. Makamano kayo nung ano. I don't have an OSD. Why?
Ano yan? Kuya. Pinsan niyo po yan nabibili.
Nagre-record ako, guys. Layo kayo.
Sabi ka daw. Nagre-record, kuya.
Layo kayo, layo. Baka maano kayo.
Baka maiyak.
Mahiwa kayo. Layo, 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 layo. Baka mahiwa, mahiya. Got a lot of jello, but I don't have an OSD. I don't have an OSD. Why?
Lang taas ng tinalon. Galing.
So we have finally completed our conversion of this Cineape 2.5-inch drone from analog going to Walksnail. This is really good considering that this is just 2.5-inch. So you can also put based on this STL file that I made, you can also put an Insta360 Go to here or 3. So depending on you, or even a naked GoPro. But the problem would be this much heavier on front, considering that we have this very, very large camera here. But if we will try to compare it with the DJI O3 Air unit, I think this is much smaller compared to that one. So current weight of this setup. Okay, so see your grams. Our current weight is, we will be around 283. So we are above 250 grams here. Because of course, the VTX is a bit heavy and everything else is a bit, yeah. The VTX is really, really heavy. So we cannot do anything about it. It's already 289. Yeah, this would be, I think, manageable because it's really, really small compared with other quad, especially the Cineape 3D. It's a bit big. So we'll try to see other flights on our next video. But for now, this is our conversion and we converted it very, very well. So in the description, I'll probably put a link on this STL file that I made. You can download it, and yeah, we hope you can do your conversion as well if you will put your HD Pro kit here. Alright, so we will end the video here. Hope to see you on the next one. Happy flying and bye-bye.